Good evening, everybody. You are now in the No Judgment Zone, which me, Sean Taylor, discussing topics with no judgments, discussing topics with no judgments. Tonight's title of the what we'll be discussing is the science behind exercise. The science behind exercise. So, for all the places that I'm streaming, Twitter, Twitch, Tailor Made Training for You 21 business Facebook page, FIMP, 50 and over, all the places that Gwen's Boys Mindset, YouTube, all the places that we're streaming. You are now in the No Judgment Zone with me, Sean Taylor, discussing topics with no judgments. So we're talking about the science behind exercise tonight and the myths um, that are behind a lot of things that actually go on when it comes to the science of behind exercise because there is a science behind exercise. That science is what helps change and transform that body. You know, some people have been lucky to do it on their own, maybe not as proficiently, but they have had some success on their own. But then the body needs some fine tuning. That's where that real science when it comes to sculpting, when it comes to tighten the body, when it comes to lifting some certain areas, when it comes to the trouble problem areas, that's when you have to dive in a little bit. So I've had several conversations with clients today and throughout the week, and today was a little bit it was a little bit crazy. It was really busy this afternoon. So, and we were discussing the science behind exercise, and we were talking about, you know, I had one of my guys. So proud of this dude. In that the philosophy of the science behind exercise is when you really apply it, or when it's really applied to the body, it's amazing how the body pretty much responds. And so Carson, my dude, I can't tell how I can't I speak on highly how proud I am. I had to let him know today again before he left. Man, do you know how proud I am? The dude has lost 100 pounds. To lose 100 pounds, it's a feat, man. It's not easy. It's hard work, and now we're on the stage to where we're getting ready to sculpt that body, put some really good muscle that you can physically see. Now we're in a different stage. But we were talking about, I was, how the science behind exercise. When once you start exercising, once you apply it to your life, how everything in your life gets better. You know, your mental acuity, how your sex life gets better. You have more energy. Your libido it rises. I mean, these aren't myths; these are facts. And over my course of 20 some years of being a trainer, you'll be amazed of the men I've talked to over 20 some year period who wants to get certain areas in their life intact, and because they don't exercise, um, and the science behind exercise isn't being utilized in certain areas, they're having problems in the bedroom and things of this nature. And the thing about it is that, me and my buddy Brandon, we used to have a running joke, when we see guys with protruding stomachs, we're having a consultation with us. Listen, man, first thing we want to do, we need to get that baby out you. That means we want to shave that stomach off, brothers. We want to shave that stomach down because, contrary to popular belief, and people have different stories or whatnot, but I'm talking to you from the educational standpoint, not because you've gotten lucky with this person or that person. I'm talking to you from something factual. The more girth you have around your midsection, it takes away from your man parts. That is a fact. It is a true fact. The less you work out, the less you do legs, you're going to have those issues that come up. They're going to arise. That is a fact. And then you have to depend on other sources to help you because you don't exercise at all. Now some people do have those problems and they do exercise, but everybody's body is pretty much different. But for the most part, that percentage number is highly staggering for people who do not exercise. Even on the flip side, when it comes to women, the libido is low. You're not exercising. I mean, it does affect the libido. It affects it in so many different ways. So exercise is so important. Exercise is so important to help with your train of thought. Um, By exercising body, we have to exercise the mind. That means as we train the body, we also have to train the mind too as well. It's amazing how people are so fixated on the body, but they're not doing anything to train their mind. Imagine if every person would train their mind. If people would train their mind, things would be better. If people would train their mind and really work on their mindsets as much as they work on their bodies and everything else they work on in life, they neglect the mind every single day. There's nothing being implied. There's no proper positive data being applied to the mindset. There's no training of the mind whatsoever. They're doing everything else in their life, but the number one thing they neglect, which causing all kinds of problems um, in different areas of their life, is their mindset. Imagine if every person would train their mind daily. Our divorce rate would be higher. People would better understand each other. People can pretty much comprehend each other. People wouldn't probably their perceptions wouldn't be so personable. I mean, there's so many different things if the mind is being applied. But I mean, if the mind is being trained, but if you're not working on your mind, you're not going to be understanding to anything. You're just going to see one way because you don't train your mind. And see, once you start training your mind goes from being closed to being open. And once your mind starts to get open, you think your body is looking all right now. But once you start training your mind, your body's going to start to look better. Now the mind is in tune with the body, opposed to the body's just doing its own thing. You run it. Some people, when it comes to their bodies, they're just running off of some different type of motivation. But what happens when that motivation leaves? What happens when you become tired? What happens when those I don't feel like it start to kick in and raise their ugly heads? What happens when depression comes in? What happens when you lose a loved one? What happens when you lose your job? What happens when you go through a devastating breakup? What happens when you go through a divorce that you didn't see coming? What happens? How do you handle that? How does it end? So all different types of things, if you work on your mind, there'd be so many areas, so much elevates in your life once you start training that mind. Everything. You see what I'm saying? So you have to train that mind. You can't let that once your mind starts to transform and conform to negativity, you're pretty much done. Once your mind starts to conform and transform to society and what they say or who's in your ear, when 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 once your mind starts to conform and transform to anybody that can approach you with a little bit of a mouthpiece, they can get you to buy into anything because you don't train your mind. You fall for everything because you don't train your mind. See, but once you start training your mind, it's like you'll start seeing things like Neo in the Matrix. Everything becomes so clear, and you can dodge this and you can dodge that. Your whole attitude and demeanor change once you start training your mind. The better you train your mind, your body starts to follow. Then your body starts to evolve and change. That you thinking it's looking all right now. But once you start training that mind to get in tune with the body, and now the body's in tune with the mind, your body starts to change. Let me break it down to how much stress can slow down your progress. See, now stress, that's the mental. That's a mental thing. Stress has nothing to do with the physical. See, I'm trying to educate you and teach you something to let you so you can further understand. I'm gonna break this thing down as if you were a 2-year-old. Stress, do you think stress comes from the physical? Mm-mm. Stress comes from the mental. Because whatever you're stressed out or worried about, that has nothing to do with your body. It has to do with the mental. And see, once the mental starts acting up, you'll start losing weight. You may start losing muscle. Your endorphins may not be the way they used to be. You start sleeping in instead of going to the gym. Because so many things, and that's why it's so important to train your mind all the time. So emotions don't run your mind, you run your mind. You will stop making decisions based off emotions and feelings. And you'll start making decisions based off clear, absolute clarity. Once you start making emotional decisions in your life, emotional decision always going to come back to bite you at some point. There's gonna you that emotional decision that you make, it's a temporary fix, and it's going to break a lot of things. But once that thing settles, once it settles, right, and you start really training that mind, you will stop making emotional decisions. You will stop making decisions based off how you feel and make decisions based off a sense of clarity. We all think we're making the right decisions when we caught up into our emotion. Have you ever said something to somebody that you never didn't mean to say, but you said it in the heat of a moment? And then you'll think about it. You may not even think about it in that moment, because once you're in that emotional state, you ain't think about nothing what you're saying. You just think about how you feel. But once all that stuff clears, then you replay back in your mind. You're like, man, there's so many different ways, and so many different scenarios I could have went, but I led off emotion. My sensei always used to say an emotional mind is a narrow mind. There's in emotions, there is not 1% of thinking in an emotion. There's none. You can't even talk to a person in an emotional state. You can't reason with a person in an emotional state. You can't have a decent, clear conversation with a person that's emotional, because they someplace else. They're on a different planet right now. Have you ever tried to talk to someone in an emotional state? Did you ever get anywhere? Mm-mm. And so many bad, nasty things are said out of emotions. And sometimes when we say things out of emotions, it's not exactly what we meant, but we just caught up in that emotional moment. And we make life-changing decisions based off emotions. There's somebody locked up in prison right now based off an emotional decision. There's somebody who lost their life based off an emotional decision in that moment. Yeah. There's somebody on a deathbed based off an emotional decision. There's somebody on death row based off of an emotional decision. There's a family totally destroyed based off an emotional decision. People lose their lives every day based off somebody making an emotional decision. So when you think of so many things in this world that has happened, and somebody in some type of emotional state that's done it. And once it's done, everything is just, you got innocent people who are just collateral damage for that person caught up into that emotional state. So when you're in an emotional state, guess what? Your body follows that emotion. When you're stressed out, you're not going to get the results you need, because why? It's going to throw your cortisol levels off the roof, and you busting your butt, busting your butt, busting your butt, but you got that stress at the forefront. And that's why it's so important to train your mind daily to be different. That's why it's so important to train your mind daily, so you don't get caught up into those emotions. Because you can talk to somebody blue in the face, to you purple. They think their emotional decision is always the right one until later on. And that reality sets in, be like, you know what? Now I'm in another situation because I made an emotional decision. And maybe if I'd have thought about that emotional decision before I actually acted on it, I wouldn't be in this new situation that I'm currently in. When your body is leading your mindset, you're going to lose, and you're going to continuously lose big. How do you get your body to sustain a certain look? How do you get your body to change every 6 to 12 months? I keep telling people fitness isn't a feeling. When you put your feelings into anything, you screw up, because now you're just thinking about self. Now you done gained all this weight. You done been now you were at the mountaintop of Mount Rushmore of an amazing physique, and now you have fallen from grace, and now you're right back to where you were 5 years ago with a bad physique. Now you probably didn't gain a little bit more weight than you were when you were at your worst state. Once you allow emotions to start taking over your decisions, emotions will fool you. Emotion is nothing but uh, emotions are nothing but the devil that's throwing a rock and hiding a hand. Emotions set you up every time. It's gonna set you up every time. There's no winning in emotions. There's only winning with a sense of clarity. Because once you have a sense of clarity, when you're in emotions, when you caught up into your emotions, you talking very disrespectfully and very loose out your mouth when you caught into your emotions. You're being very nasty when you're in your emotions. You don't care what come out your mouth when you're in your emotions. And your body is going to follow your emotions. When people are into their emotions, they're doing one or two things that's bad. They losing weight in a bad way, and they're gaining weight in a bad way. See, when you stress comes from your mental, stress comes from your mental, and it's a domino effect into everything else. And you have to come to grips with, like, you know what, I got to get my mind together, because once I get my mind straight, everything else in my life gonna be okay. But I got to get my mind straight first. Once I get my mind straight, I'll quit talking nasty to people. When I get my mind straight, my attitude will change. When I get my mind straight, I'll stop being selfish. When I get my mind straight, I can start being apologetic, start being forgiving. When I get my mind straight, I can lose the bitterness and resentments and the grudges. Resentment, bitterness, and grudges, that's a toxic state of mind. You do know that. You do realize that, right? Unforgiving, that's a toxic state of mind. You can call it what you want, but it is. When you're trying to really get your body right, you got to get your mind right first. You got to be mentally prepared for what's going to come. You don't know how hard or how easy it's going to be. There's no easy in fitness. If you're looking for easy, there's no easy in fitness. One thing I love about fitness, and I was telling my client Julie about, what I love about fitness, you can't cheat it. You can't cheat fitness. You can get plucked, tucked, and sucked, but you still gonna have to do the work with fitness. Even when your butt don't match your legs, you looking crazy. I mean, you still gonna have to do the work. You stuck with that. You went and did it. Your butt one size and your legs about the your legs is like this. I mean, it don't even match up. But that ain't none of my business. But my thing about it is, you can't get away from this work, baby. You're gonna have to do this work. You can't cheat fitness. You can't cheat fitness, and you can't cheat exercise. What I love about it, and I was telling Julie, there is no way around it. You can be skinny fat all you want to. You cannot exercise. But guess what? You're dying a slow death inside. Your body internally is 30 years older than your actual health age. People think, listen, man, when you know the anatomy and you know how the body works, you don't have to be overweight to die from a heart attack. You could be at the perfect weight. You ain't got to be 400, 500, 300 pounds. You ain't even got to be 200 pounds to die from a heart attack. See, the science behind exercise, what you neglect kills your internal. That's what's dying at a rapid rate. You're aging rapidly. It's like you're Benjamin Button, but you're going at a faster pace internally. You ain't getting older. You're not getting younger internally. You're getting older at a fast rate. This heart is working harder. Yeah, you're 130 pounds soaking wet, but your heart is working harder. Why? Because of what you put into your body and the lack of exercise that you're doing. You don't even train. This heart ain't even training. Your heart is on life support and you don't even know it. Your heart is on a ventilator and you don't even know it. This right here, man, that heart, that's everything, baby. That's keeping you breathing. That's keeping you alive. Just because you look skinny don't mean you skinny internally. You do understand that, right? Now I'm talking to you from education facts, from the science behind the exercise. See, the science behind the exercise just doesn't work the body. The science behind the exercise also works the mind. But you have to tap into it. You worrying about everything from head to toe. And the engine that makes that car runs, that engine between your shoulder is killing you in other areas in your life at a rapid pace. And you don't even see it. You know why you don't see it? Because you're not even mentally in tune with your own self. You got to seek advice. You got to do this. You got to go to this person. You got to tell this person. You got to tell that person. You got to do that. You can't even think for yourself. That's how emotionally unstable you are. You don't even know what to do. You don't know what, you don't know anything to do. You go into the gym. Yeah, you looking okay. But we all have room for improvement. Imagine how better you can look when you get this up, when you get this straight. When you're going through things in life, and one thing I love about meditation, when I'm going through things in life, and when I'm hurt, when I'm in pain, when I'm depressed, when I'm sad, when I'm mad, when I'm angry, when I'm frustrated, when I'm irritated, when I'm agitated, I get so deep in here. I get so deep in here. I hear my sensei's voice and I hear my mom's voice. I hear my mom's voice, I hear my sensei's voice. I hear my sensei's voice, I hear my mom's voice. Very calm voices. And I go to that place and I meditate and I tune out everything. And I start just rapidly working on this. Just rapidly working on this. It ain't you, buddy. Don't you worry about it. Keep it moving. Keep it going. You didn't stumble before. You didn't stumble worse. Keep it moving. Keep it going. You've been at rock bottom before. If you ain't at rock bottom now, this is nothing. Just keep it moving. Just keep it going. Keep it positive. Don't dwell on the negative. Don't dwell on being misunderstood. Don't dwell on being judged. Just keep it going. Keep it moving. Keep your mind broad. Never go to that narrow place despite how you feel. Keep it moving. Keep it going. You have to train your mind daily because your body, the more you train your mind, your body you're gonna stay consistent. There's not gonna be no drop-offs. There's not gonna be any setbacks when it comes to your fitness journey. You're gonna keep going, you're gonna keep plugging, you're gonna keep going, you're gonna keep plugging, you're gonna be patient, you're gonna realize your fitness journey is a marathon, it's not a sprint. You're gonna be like, I got to lose this microwave mentality that everybody's got. I got to lose the microwave mentality. Listen, man, if you got a microwave mentality, you ain't got no, you're not a soldier. If you ain't got, I'm telling you, if you got a microwave mentality, you are not a soldier. You are not a warrior. You are not a gladiator. You're just somebody who's doing just enough to get by. You are not strong. You are you as weak as the day is long. If you have a microwave mentality, it's all about what somebody can do for you. If you got a microwave mentality, building ain't even in your psyche. When you got a microwave mentality, you have the patience of a 3-year-old child. When you have a microwave mentality, you ain't trying to understand nobody. You ain't trying to compromise with nobody. When you have a microwave mentality, it is all about you. It's F everybody else. It's all about you. Because you're the only person who's been through something in this whole entire world. It's over 7 billion people. You're the only one out of 7 billion people that have been through something. That's how people with microwave mentality, that's how they act, that's how they talk, that's how they live. That's just them. They're the only person in this whole world of 7 billion people that have been through something or going through anything. That's a microwave mentality. Let me tell you something, man. The true test, I had a friend text me this today. The true test of a person's character is to remain solid in the face of adversity. Let me repeat that. The true test of a person's character is to remain solid in the face of adversity. To remain solid in the face of adversity, that's a person who trains their mind daily. They don't even bat an eye at a challenge. They don't even bat an eye at adversity, obstacles, setbacks, letdowns. They don't bat an eye. What they do, they embrace it and they fight 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 and they fight. My mom used to tell me all the time. She said, one thing you're good at is fighting because you've been fighting all your life, son. You've been fighting on your, you've been fighting all your life since you was a child. You've been fighting all your life. So people don't know the fight you got in you. They throwing punches at you left and right, punching uppercuts left and right, left and right, left and right. They are tiring themselves out. And you can't be broken. It's a state of mind. Let me tell you something, man. My sensei told me once, he said, it's hard. It's darn near impossible to beat, to defeat, to bring down a person who is stimulated, who is motivated, who is vigorated from a mental state. A person who is mentally driven and mentally strong, you can't beat that person. You can't beat them. And when you think you beat them, they laughing. They telling you back, man, that's what you throwing me in life. You hit like a bitch. That's how a mentally strong person is laughing at you 24/7, baby. Because they know you mentally weak. You mentally weak based off the moves you make, based off what you say out your mouth. You talk out of weakness. You live in fear because you bring up your past 24/7. You're never optimally, you're never present. You ain't never mentally present. You there, but you're not mentally present. And when you don't understand the deepness of the mental, that's why there's always going to be all these disconnects in your life. Because you ain't even mentally in tune. See, when you're not mentally in tune with yourself, you ain't going to be mentally in tune with nothing else. You ain't even mentally in tune with yourself, which is the most mentally in tune that you need to be. If you're not mentally in tune with yourself, how can you be mentally in tune with anybody else? You don't even know how to be mentally in tune with anybody else. So the science behind the exercise is getting yourself and your body mentally in tune with each other. It's simplistic. When you have to tell a person to pick up a weight, what does that weight tell you? And they're looking like, what is the weight telling you? Did you just pick that up? How does it feel? How does the weight feel in your hands? There's no mentally in tune. There's no mental alignment, nowhere. And I'm asking them a simple question: how does the weight feel? And all I'm looking for is the weight. Does the weight feel light or does the weight feel heavy? That is basic stuff to get mentally in tune with your body. As you pick it up, there are waves going to the cerebral, which should tell you automatically, this is too light, this is too heavy. But if you're not mentally in tune, you won't even get that basic fact. And if you're not even mentally tuned with that, what makes you think you're mentally tuned with another human being when you're not even mentally in tune with the weight that can't even speak, talk, look, do anything? It's a weight. It's lifeless. So how are you mentally in tune with life? How are you mentally in tune with anybody when you can't even listen to what your body is telling you? To listen to what your body is telling you is to be mentally in tune with your body. That's what mentally in tune pretty much, that's what it is. You have to listen to the body is going to send signals to the mind. This is too heavy. This is too light. This is too heavy. This is too light. I need to do more reps. I need to challenge myself more. The body is talking to the mind, and the mind is responding to the body. They're a couple. They're a good couple. But in order for any couple, which is your mind and your body, in order for any couple to intertwine, they have to listen to each other. And if they're not listening to each other, because one wants what it wants and this one wants what it wants, there's the disconnect. The only way they work, that body has to surrender to that mindset. Listen to what I'm saying. They're a couple, but the body has to surrender to the mindset. Now they can gel. Now they can last. But if the body never surrenders to the mind, your body is only going to get so far. You're going to be the person that looks the same every year, every year. There's no change that the naked eye can see. Your ceiling is going to be very low. You're not ever changing because your body refused to surrender to your mind. And your body's not surrendering to your mind is because you're not mentally in tune with yourself. And so if you're not mentally in tune with yourself, you're not going to be mentally in tune with the body. So the body is never going to listen to the mind. Nobody is surrendering. Then what happens? There's a disconnect. You started gaining weight, or you're losing weight, or whatever comes into your life, you're going to succumb to it. You're going to fall prey to it because the body refused to surrender. Somebody got to surrender. And when the body surrenders and the mind still doesn't listen, the mind ain't trying to work it out because it just wants what it wants. That's how things last 20, 30, 40, 50 years. That's how things get there. They work together. And if your mindset ain't right, if you're not mentally in tune, you're still going to have the same problems on to the next thing. Problems don't stop. My mother used to tell me problems ain't going to stop until they bury you 6 feet under. So you got one or two choices. You can always be a negative person. You can always play victim. You can always do this. It's all, oh, woe is me, blah, 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 blah. Or you can stand up and embrace each challenge and kick it in its behind. Beat it down. Be ready for the challenge. Don't cower your way from a challenge. Don't bitch up from a challenge. Don't run from a challenge. Don't avoid a challenge. That's what weak people do. And they swear they're strong. No, you're not. Because if you are strong, any challenge that's come your way, you're going to stand up and you're going to face it. You ain't running. You ain't giving yourself a way out. You ain't a quitter. Quitters quit. They ain't got no fight in them. They didn't let life beat them down so much they ain't got no fight in them. They ain't got no fight in them for their own body. See, in fitness, you got to have some fight in you. There's stages in fitness. You either somewhere in limbo between I'm looking all right, but things ain't tight. I'm looking okay, but I still got this stuff in my midsection. I'm looking okay, but man, my arms ain't tight. I'm not seeing no lines. I'm not seeing no striation. I'm looking all right. You're looking okay. But how you gonna get to that next level? The only way you're gonna get to your next level, you got to start training this. And once you start training this, you get excited for challenges. Once you start training this, it's like you get your second win in life. Once you start training this, your whole attitude and demeanor and persona, the whole aura about you is going to change. Once you start training this, you realize There's always going to be problems. What I'm going to do? Give myself some excuses, make up some BS because I'm being faced with some adversity on my fitness journey? Hmm? I told y'all the last time I made a podcast, I can tell how a person lived their life based off how they do in their fitness journey. My first trainer I ever had, he would always tie in life with fitness and life. He said, Sean, they go hand in hand. You want to know about a person? Watch them on their fitness journey. How they are on their fitness journey tells a lot. When it becomes tough, they don't feel like going. That's how they are in life. They quit before they even reach the goal of more. They didn't have a little goals, but they quit before they reach the goals of more. That's how they are in life. You want to know a quitter? Watch them in their fitness journey. That means they have quit several times in their lives. They have thrown in the towel several times in their life. They didn't gave up several times in their lives. They didn't play victim several times in their life. Fitness and life ties in, people. That's why I'm always tying in fitness into life stuff. They gel, they intermingle with each other. Hmm. You just don't want to be strong in mind. You want to be strong in body. You just don't want to be strong in body. You want to be strong in mind. Why? Because they gel together. But in order for them to gel together, the body has to surrender to the mind. Somebody gonna have to be like, you know what? All right. Somebody got to be the voice of reason. Somebody got to be the voice of maturity. Somebody's got to do it. But when the body surrenders and be like, okay, I'm willing to do whatever, and the mind is so arrogant, so caught up into what they caught up in, what you can't do that. You can't force it. Now, when the sky was the limit, now their limit in their fitness journey is the sky. They ain't gonna go no further. They're gonna always be looking the same. Like, man, that person looking at you. You've ever heard people who say, man, that person working out? Dang, you've been working out for a while. Man, I can't. I've heard people say this. I can't tell that person even work out. You know why they're saying that? Because the mind isn't in tune with the body, and the body isn't in tune with the mind. They together, but they both doing their own thing. That's why people are saying this person look like they work out. Well, this person works out, but I can't tell that they work out. I don't see no muscle definition. You looking real toned, but I can see you lost weight, but I can't look at you and tell that you literally work out. I don't see nothing physically that I can see that tells me that you work out. My first fitness trainer used to tell me all the time, there's two different people in fitness. People who people who work out and people who look like they work out. Bam. There are two people in fitness, people who work out and people who look like they work out, where you can physically see that they work out. You can see some type of lean muscle tissue, and they ain't got to be some female bodybuilder. He ain't got to be no male bodybuilder or whatever, but you can see that they really go hard in the paint. You see some structure. But when there's no structure, there's no tonnage. Yeah, you got a nice little thing going on, but you ain't got that. That's it. I can't tell you work out. I can tell you're not overweight, and I can tell that you got a nice little shape, and I can tell that he ain't overweight or whatever. But I can't look at him and say he works. I can't look at her and say, yeah, she looks like she works out. I can't look at that because I don't see nothing that shows the work. That's just being truthful. I don't see an ab in the house. I don't see not one line of muscle definition in the quad. That butt's not lifted to where you can sit something on it and it just, boom, it just stays. And the clothes are off. Yeah, you look all right, but it ain't nothing mind blowing that shows me that you actually exercise. There's nothing showing him or her that you actually exercise. So you got the mind and the body has to come together as one. That's how you reach your goals. That's when you seeing dramatic changes. That's when you looking tight and right. When you put on things that's fitting, there's not things that's lumping and bumping or folding over. The fupas are gone. The double chin is gone. The big cheeks are gone. The big faces when you're heavyweight, when you're getting heavier is gone. The thighs rubbing together, done. The butt looking all right, but it's not lifted, done. When the mind and body intertwines together. That's the science behind exercise. It's the mind with the body. That's the science. That's science, not Ocho. That's I'm Athlete podcast. I love that podcast. But that's the science, man. That's the science. And in order to master the science, you got to be ready to go to school, baby, to master the science. Fitness is like going to school. Fitness is starting out in elementary and you going all the way through college till you get your associates, your bachelors, your masters, and your doctorates. But you got to be willing and open-minded to learn in order to get those things and achieve those things. But if you're not willing to be consistent and diligent and do in doing the work, you're not going to get it. You're going to get so far, but you ain't going to get that degree. You got your high school education, but you ain't getting that. You ain't even going to get that associates. You know why? Because your mind, you're not even mentally in tune with yourself, so you're not even mentally in tune with your body. You know, you just flying by the seat of your pants. You're just doing whatever. You have no education, so you're just going off of what this person is doing and what that person is doing and what you're seeing. Let me try that. You have to understand everybody's body is different. Genetics play a major role. Progress looks different on everybody. See, science behind exercise is so deep. And if you don't have the education, again, when your sky is supposed to be the limit, your limit is going to be the sky. So get to understand the science behind exercise. But in order to get that, you got to get yourself mentally in tune with yourself. Then you got to get yourself mentally in tune with your body to where you can hear what your body is actually saying. When my body is saying I'm tired, I may work out that day, I may work out later, or I may level it down a little bit. Because when I'm fatigued, if I'm sleepy, if I ain't got much sleep, I'm not going to have that full mental alertness. And when you're not alert, it's like driving a car sleepy. You're going to crash because you sleep deprived. Y'all got to get these, and y'all got to get these gems. You got to get these analogies, and I'm spitting at you, man. When you're fatigued, when you're working out, it's like driving when you're sleepy. And all it takes is a millisecond to close your eyes and you off a curve, you into a tree, you into another car. You may lose your life, you may get injured. I mean, you got to think about these things. That's why you have to be mentally in tune with your body to hear what your body is saying. And if you're not mentally in tune with yourself, you're not going to be able to hear what nobody is saying to you. You're not going to be able to listen to a voice of reason. Nobody, you and the people in your camp are just like you. They ain't even mentally in tune with themselves and their bodies. So they're going to go in, they're going to support you in all your BS. Because they ain't mentally in tune with life or themselves or anything. Y'all all in the same boat. You know, that explains things. But a lot of people ain't ready for those type mature, transparent type of conversations. I know why everybody's body is looking the way they looking, and we ain't even got to talk. Why? Because I listen to how you think. How do you listen to how I think? I listen to how you think I listen to how you think based off what comes out your mouth. What comes out your mouth is basically how you think. It's how you've always thought. I can tell that you're a very unforgiving person based off how you think, based off what comes out your mouth. You're very unapologetic, tell it based off how you think, based off what comes out your mouth. It's all about you based off how you think, based off what comes out your mouth. You're very selfish based off how you think that comes out your mouth. You holding grudges for 5, 10, 15 years of something that you can't control. It's over and done with. It's dead. You're beating a dead horse. But I can tell how you think about those grudges that you constantly hold, and the resentment and bitterness about how you hold, because based off what comes out your mouth, that's how you think. My mom taught me that. She said, you want to know how people think? Watch what comes out their mouth. Watch what comes out their mouth when adversity strikes. Watch what comes out their mouth when things get upside down. Watch what comes out their mouth when challenges come in their life. Watch what comes out their mouth when they're stressed out. That's what you're going to get. That's how they are. That's how they've always been. You're just seeing it right now. No one is telling them different, because everything around them they surround themselves with like-minded individuals just like them. Anything the opposite of them, it's like oil and water, it don't mix. And they never going to listen to reason, because they too prideful and too egotistical. When you can't be told you're wrong, when you can't sit down and listen, you can't listen to a different perspective, or listen to this side, or listen what could have been, or whatever perceived. I mean, you have to think about a lot of things. This is how people actually live their lives, and this is how they've lived their life all their life. Ain't no changing them fools. That's why positive people can't be around negative people. They're not like-minded. That's why positive people can't hang around people who just they gonna hold something over your head regardless. You can apologize to the cows come home. You can be baby baby please, and she can be like baby baby please to him, and yeah, because they have been like that all their lives. There's no voice of reason in their lives, and if you really fall back and really study what they surround themselves with, those people have the same like mind as that individual. And when you have a real one, whether it's a friend or whatever, they gonna let you know. I got 5 real friends who have let me know when I'm effing up, when I thought I was right. That's love, because they willing to put their relationship on the line and not condone or enable your bad behavior, and tell you, listen, I love you, dude, you was wrong. My best friend is Brandon Floyd. That's my dude. That's my brother. I will kill, hurt, and maim over that dude. He will kill, hurt, and maim over me. I've told that brother when he's wrong. And that's my dude. I 10 toes down. Anything he need, I will stop what I'm doing. Period. That's my dude. And he would do the same for me. But that dude has looked me in my face and told me when I was wrong. And you know what I did? I didn't take offense to it. I thank God that I got a real friend who's not going to condone my BS and tell me, you know what? You should look at that at a different angle, bro. Just because we think we right about everything don't mean we right about things. People they ruin their whole life. They go through life altering changes in their life, and they will ruin it based off because they just want to be right. Even when it comes down to their fitness journey, they can't even listen to that. They get in the pride and the ego, even in your fitness. That person got 3 degrees, and they telling you the right thing because they ain't saying it out their mouth the way you want to hear it. you got a whole problem with it. Let me tell you something about truth. Truth don't never come out, ain't gonna come out pretty sometimes. But just because it's truth, you're gonna have a problem with it. And I'd rather have 5 friends that call me out on my mess instead of enabling it. One of my other good friends, Tommy, that's here local, brother didn't call me out on my mess, man. At some point, you got to let your pride and ego go because it's screwing you. And it's going to continue to screw you even in your body and even in your life. You can on to the next one and thinking people are replaceable one day. My mom told me this, man, somebody who genuinely care about you, them fools ain't replaceable. I'm sorry. A person who ain't never judged you, a person who accepts you as you are, your messed up ways and everything, you think that person's replaceable? Good luck. Because the next person, they ain't gonna tolerate, they ain't even gonna be able to hardly to deal with you when you show them your true self. Tell people all your dirt day one. Just put it all out there. I put it in the story. It's on my TikTok. Go read it for yourself. Put all that on the line and see the outcome on that. Don't put on your best Oscar winning award faces just so you can get friends. Be who you are, man. It's a little bit easier. Because if people can't accept you for who you are, you're going to be pretending and lying to them all throughout the whole duration of the process. Hmm. Yeah, man. How do I know about that? Because I've lied majority of my life. It wasn't even worth it. I used to make moves based off public perception. I used to make moves based off what people think, just so people can be close to me, just so they can friend me. That ain't real, but that's what y'all want. Even when it comes to your fitness, even when it comes to your bodies, you want to hear what you want to hear. You don't want to hear what you need to hear. You don't want to hear that you be lying about your eating because why is your body not changing? In 30 days, I need to see something. If that weight ain't coming off, baby, I need to see them inches. That's let me know what you're doing. Yeah. Yeah, man. That's, I'm telling you. You dig that? That's what's letting me know what's going on. 8 different trainers I had. 8. All proficient, all good, knew they stuff, good at their craft, all was older, body just defied age. I was just like, Jesus Christ, man. I just soaked in. You can't soak in. You have to humble yourself and become meek to soak the good stuff in. But if nobody can talk to you, again, sky ain't the limit for you. The limit is the sky. You are shooting your own self in the foot. I know one thing. In 2022, I will never live that code that people are replaceable. That's a lie, man. That's that's a lie. That's a man. If I got somebody who just accept me, they trying to work with me, they ain't judging me, they trying to be there for me. They just truly trying to be in my corner. That person is replaceable. In a world where people are lovers of themselves, they got microwave mentalities, they got the patience of a fingernail, that person's replaceable. People are judging each other about everything, eat everything. That person's replaceable. Good luck. Life will show you what I'm trying to tell you. Good luck. Good luck. You're gonna see that again. And it's gonna hurt, it's gonna hit you right in the jaw. It's gonna hit you right in the throat. Oh, you're gonna feel that. Oh, trust me. Been there. You're gonna feel that. Trust me. That boy, listen. You, you gotta hear me. You got to get mentally in tune with yourself in this life. You got to get mentally in tune with your body. You got to understand that mental stuff is that science stuff that's going to change your body. But if you ain't training that mind daily, that body's only going to change just a little bit. It's going to change. It's going to get, you're going to see some results. But that plateau, that wall going to be right there. It's going to stop. You know why? That wall is going to stop because you're too prideful. You're too egotistical. You want to work out and do just the things you like. You want to cheat and drink and eat and do anything you like. You want carbs at every dinner. You don't want to change. You ain't trying to change. You want to do the easy stuff. You want an easy button for everything in your life. Fitness ain't about easy. Fitness is hard. Fitness is challenging. Fitness is adversity. Fitness is difficult. It is never going to be easy. It only becomes tolerable once you train this mind to get in alignment with the body, where the body surrenders to the mindset so it comes together as one. The body ain't worried about pride and ego. The body was like, you know what? I need to get myself where we need to get this thing where it needs to be. So I'm finna surrender. I'm finna humble myself. I'm done with my ego. I'm done with my pride. And I'm going to surrender to the mental, because the mental is going to help us it's going to catapult us to the next level. The mental is the quarterback of the situation. And the NFL team ain't going to never make it to the Super Bowl without that franchise quarterback. You're going to have a quarterback to win some Super Bowls. You're going to have a mental cerebral quarterback that's Tom Brady to win some Super Bowl, because he's focused. And you not distract that dude. That dude got 6 wins. That dude got wins up under his belt. I'm going to argue with that dude. That dude look at his body of work. That dude's body, oh my God, this dude body speaks. And I'm arguing with this dude. I'm going to have an attitude with that dude. That guy, he's got a body of work to show. That dude's replaceable? Right. No. And that's how y'all move in y'all life. Y'all constantly play checkers with your bodies and you never play chess. But that's how you move in your life. You think you smart, but you're not. Because if you did, your whole mindset would change. Your attitude would be different. How you talk to people would be different. You would be reciprocal. You would be forgiving. You won't hold grudges against people. You would listen to logic. You would change your camp. You would stop being with people who gonna condone and enable your bad behavior, and get people who like, you know what, be straight up with me. Tell me when I'm effing up. Don't condone my BS. But you got to change your mindset to be open-minded. Until you change your mindset from going closed-minded to open-minded, you ain't never gonna have nothing. You too close. Your mind's like this. Change comes as the mind open. Change don't come as the mind closed, baby. Change comes as the mind opens. Change don't come as the mind closed, because it can't listen. It's right. It sees things one way. It don't never think about, oh, what if she was on the other foot? What if it came at me? What if I was right that? It never. Open-minded and growth. To be open-minded, that's what you got to open your mind to grow. Yeah, baby. You got to open that mind to grow. Once you open the mind to grow, now the body can really evolve and change. Now you can start seeing the lines. Now you can start seeing the striation. Now you can start seeing a little muscle. Now that butt that's lifted, boom, that butt it's up there. It's just not right here. It's up here. My stamina is on point. My endurance is on point. I'm pleasing my wife more. The pregnant look is gone. I can feel some abs now. My stomach is, whoop, it's flat. I ain't got no fupa nowhere. Ain't nothing there. I could put on something snug and there's nothing overlapping nowhere in no area, baby. You know why? Because I've opened my mind and now my body has surrendered to my mind, but the body is only going to surrender to your mind once your mind opens. As long as your mind stay closed, your body is never going to surrender to it. But the mind has to open. And once the mind open, all the science stuff, all everything, it becomes clear. You in the matrix now, baby. You Neo. You dodging bullets. You playing and you smiling and you just smirking like, oh man, I got this. But in order to get your mental to be in that matrix type of state, you have to make some changes in it. You got to go in there and change some furniture around. You got to go and do some remodeling in your mind. So you got to move pride out the way. You got to move ego out the way. You got to move bad attitude out the way. You got to move all that toxic stuff out of the way. You got to move all your stuff, all that. You got to move all that stuff in your way so you can put some new furniture in that mind. And once you be able to move that, take that old nonsense out that you've had for years and start putting that new furniture, now that house inside your mind can become a dope ass home. But baby, if you gonna constantly be closed-minded, you ain't even going to comprehend or understand what I'm talking about right now. You got pride and you got ego and you got all that other stuff that you've had for years blocking your mindset. And that's why you're never going to be able to understand anything I'm saying or anybody else. Because it's all going to come back to you, to your thought process. If you really want your bodies to start changing, you, my friend, must open your mind and take out that old furniture and get some new, brand new furniture and put in that mind. Take out all that old furniture. Take out all that toxic stuff out your mind. Now you can see. Now you can listen. You see what I'm saying? Now you can change. Now the body can really evolve into something that you've never even had in your life. At an older age, there's no limitations when it comes to the mindset, only the ones that we place there. We let allow to live and dwell there. That's where our limitations come from. But I digress. I hope you got something out of that to understand that science, this is it. This is it. This is what's holding you back. This is why everything has failed. This is why you can't listen. This is why it's all about you. This is why you're unforgiving. This is why you're still holding on things from 10, 15, 20 years ago. This is why you like, nah, you don't listen to no reasoning. This is why. And this is why the body is not surrendering to you. Because until this change, the body's gonna be like, nah, I ain't so, nah. I'm tired of that. I've been in this body for 40 years, man. I'm gonna only surrender until they get their head right. Get your mind right. The body is willing to stick with you through all your nonsense. It just wants you to get your head right. And once you get your head right, now the body is going to surrender. Now y'all can come together as one. Now y'all can work, baby. Now things become beautiful. Now things become now it's easily listening. Now the pride is gone. Now the ego is gone. Oh, now we can work. Now we can make this thing a beautiful thing. But the body's not going to render to your mindset until you change it. That's your fault. Keep thinking that body is replaceable if you want to. It's not, because it's stuck out with you. It ain't changed its stripes. Despite of you, in spite of you, it's still trying to work with you. In spite of your ignorance, in spite of your pride, in spite of your ego, in spite of all the things that you've held against it. In spite of what you blamed it for that it ain't even do, in spite of your speculation and assumptions, in spite of your judgments, in spite of your non-support, it still stick it out with you. Because the body is telling the mind, I ain't got no loopholes when it comes to you. I'm 10 toes down for you, and you too dumb to realize it. And you think you're gonna replace me with something. Yeah, it's gonna be replaced. You can replace it, but it's just something to get something out of you. And when it gets tired of you, it's just gonna boom, and you're gonna be right back to where you were, feeling all that stuff, and then boom, your mind goes from it goes back. It's even closed even more tighter. Now you just this cancerous thing, just you just a living cancer, just walking around, destroying everything in its path. And the body's like, well, see, we're not gonna get nowhere because you refuse to change. But again, I digress. Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true. But we want to stick to the subject at hand too, Lisa. It's just analogies that I've been painting for this. It's not about, this is not a relationship type deal. This is about just how things are changing, how things become stagnant, don't get to the next level based off how people think. That's what it's about. You see what I'm saying? If you want your body to change, you got to change this. And the body's not going to change until you change this. It's going to change just to a little bit. But once you change this fully, now the body, you're going to see the body just go to places that you've never seen all your life. You're going to be in your best. People think you can't be at the best shape in your life at 45. People think that you can't be at the best shape at 50. People think you can't be at the best shape at 55. That's a closed mindset. A closed mindset is going to say, oh, no, 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 he can't get muscle at 56 and 57 and 58. No, 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 no. That's a closed mindset. You want to know if people's mindsets are open and closed? Watch them on their fitness journey. It tells you everything. It tells you everything. It shows their doubt. It shows their fears. It shows their excuses. It shows their procrastination. It shows their will or lack of. It shows how they always quit, how they start things and never finish things through or never follow things through. Because the minute the road get rocky, the minute it gets rocky, they start doing the back stretch, scratching their head and not realizing, not even thinking for a millisecond that growth comes through challenges and adversity. Growth don't comes through comfortable. Growth don't comes through easy. Growth don't comes when they kissing your behind. Growth don't come to where you're just walking on like they're a doormat. Growth don't come to where they just your punching bag. That's not what growth don't come. Growth don't come. Growth comes from difficult. Growth comes from hard. Growth comes from adversity. That's when you want to see who that person really is. Let problems strike. It shows you who they are every time. When that scale ain't moving and they start doing the backstroke, that's what they do in life. When the inch is not coming off fast and dramatically, that's what they do in life. They just falter. And then when they start looking good, they got the mind in tune with the body. They finally start working on their mind. Now they get comfortable. And when you get comfortable, laziness breeds its ugly head. You start smelling yourself. You start feeling yourself a little bit too much because now you're comfortable. And now things start to slowly slide. And now you right back a year from now in the place that you were, or even a worse state in the body and the mind. But see, because once the mind stays mentally in tune, the mind ain't gonna, the mind be like, nah, I'm not letting you, body. We ain't slacking. We going today. We gonna get this work. We gonna be consistent in every word, and we gonna be consistent in every syllable of the word consistency. We're going to be determined in every syllable word of determination. We're going to be disciplined in every syllable word of discipline. We're going to be relentless in every syllable word of relentless. No matter what we go through, no matter who's left us, no matter who's abandoned us, no matter who's lied on us, no matter who just not there for us, not supporting us, we still got to get this work because we made a commitment to each other. Body, you made a commitment to me, and my mind made a commitment to you, body. So we gonna get this. And this is a lifestyle. Mind is telling body, we growing old and gray together. The body's telling mind, you're damn right. They don't give up on each other. They don't quit. It's not an option for them. So they fight. The mind and the body fights. But the driving force in that relationship between the mind and the body is that mental, baby, 24/7. Because this is what's going to get you through the depression. This is what's going to get you through the sadness, the hurt, the pain. This is what's going to get you like, God damn it, here we are again with this BS. Now, here's another lie I done bought into. This is what's going to get you to the frustration, the aggravation, the irritation. This is what's going to get you through the games. This is what's going to get you through. It's going to get you through everything. It's going to get you through how messed up society is, how things are upside down. It's going to get you through dealing, co-parenting with that stupid person that you're co-parenting. It's going to get you through. And the body's going to follow suit. But here's the thing about the mind. The mind, it gets stronger every day because it constantly stays open like 24/7. It stays open 24/7. It never shuts down. It stays open 24/7 and it constantly grows. It's growing when it don't even see a way. It's growing when it don't even know a way. It's growing when it don't have an idea, an inkling how it's going to get done. But it keeps saying, the mind keeps saying, we're going to figure this out. And the body is listening. Why? Because the mind stays open. The minute the mind closes, the body falls off. How do people get phenomenally in shape? Looking, I'm talking about looking like a billion bucks. And they get right back into the state that they started with 5 years ago, or even worse. They get there because their mind closes up shop. And that's the problem. But the mind is the leading force of the science behind the exercise to get the body where it needs to be. Fitness is 99% mental, people. It's 1% physical. You're worrying about the wrong things when you need to be worrying about this. You need to be on this 24/7. You need to be on this 24/7 like you done had a gazillion energy drinks. You just own it. You just own it. You never get it. You need to stay on the mental's neck. You need to keep your foot on the mental's neck because that's going to make and break everything in your path. And when you close-minded, you think you winning, baby, and you losing big. And you too close-minded to see it. See, when you're close-minded, you can't see nothing. You can't even see the errors of your own ways. You can't even see that, ironically, you're your own problem. And you can't even see that you blame it on everybody else, but you never take accountability and responsibility of what you do with that closed mindset. And the closed mindset is the thing that's keeping you back. That's why you're not going to get no better, because your mind's going to stay closed and you mess up everything that comes in your path. You screw it up, even when it comes to your own body. Change your mind changes your life. And change ain't change until that mindset is 100% changed. See, when the mindset becomes open, a person, how they talk ain't even the same. You'd be like, man, there's something different about them. They done moved all that that bad toxic furniture out their mind. They didn't remodel that mental house. And now that house is a beautiful home. Yeah, man. I hope you got something out of this, man. The science behind exercise is derived from your mindset. We're still running the Slim Down Summer Special, still going on for the rest of this month. Anybody that signs up right now, you get free nutritional guidance. That's at a between $600 to $800 value that you don't have to pay for. It's 50% off, people. 50% off. And if you come to me, we gonna get this work. We gonna get this work. And I'm not gonna feel sorry for you. I'm not gonna have no empathy or sympathy for you, for the pain that you feel, because I've been there and then some. You ain't doing not one exercise that I have not done a gazillion times. You ain't going through no pain that I have not gone through a gazillion times and still going through in the present. That sweat that you feeling, I do that 5, 6 days a week, baby. That soreness you feeling, I feel that right now. It's Thursday. And I still got another day. That consistency that you need to be, I'm already there. That discipline that you need to be, I breathe, sleep, and eat it. So you're not going through nothing that I have not been through and still take myself through to this day. I'm training harder than I used to. I'm challenging myself more than I used to. So everything that you're going through, that you whining, bitching, and moaning about, I go through that every single day. And it's at a way higher level. So when I'm looking at you and I'm laughing and I'm smiling, no. I have clients say, he don't care. He don't care. He don't care how I feel. He don't care what I'm going through. He don't care I'm in this pain. He don't care I'm sore. That's not that I don't care. I do. I feel you. I relate to you. But it ain't nothing that I ain't already been through myself. And I push myself way harder than I push you. Because I'm a monster. I'm a gladiator. I'm a soldier. I'm just out of my mind. I'm insane. You can't do that. You ain't got there yet to the point of insanity, to where you're walking, you moving around in the gym like Sonic. You don't stop. You don't rest. You're just moving. That's insanity. You not there yet. You ain't built like that yet. That takes time. So your journey that you're on and what you're doing, I've done it. I'm still doing it. Fitness is work. You clock in, you clock out. You clock in, you clock out. It ain't easy. That's why I tell people when you contact me, make sure you're serious, because it's going to be a hard journey in every aspect of the word hard. There's no such thing as easy in fitness. Sorry, it's just not. You could choose easy. You could choose to do the powder puff stuff. But then your body is only going to get to a certain level. But you got to do the hard things. You got to do the things that you can't stand for the body to change, them stubborn areas that's internal within you. But the special's still going on. Please contact me. You can contact me 904-403-6991. t4u.staylor@gmail.com is my email. tailormadetrainingforyou.net is my website. If you want a consultation, fill out the inquiry on the website. It comes straight to me through email. I'll contact you. We go from there. But if you really want to get this work, if you want to be a person like Carson who's just lost 100 pounds, come holler at your boy. We going to get this work. We going to have fun. We going to joke. But you going to get all this smoke. I'm here to tell you. I'm going to smile. I'm going to grin at you. I'm going to laugh with you as you're going through it. And we going to have a good time, because we have a good time in here, man. We have a good time. But we still get that work and still have a good time too. You can make it a chore, like my boy Sean said, or you can make it a choice, like my boy Sean said. But listen, man, I hope somebody got something out of it, man. Get your mental right, man, because your body ain't going to surrender until you get this right. You got to get this right. I mean, surrender to where you can get to the next level, to where you're like, wow. You see what I'm saying? But you got to open this. This can't stay closed. Change can't come in your life with a closed mind. That's like trying to, that, that's like, that's like, you can't, you, you can't have a negative mindset try and talk about you living a positive life. You living your best life. No, you ain't. How you living your best life with a negative closed mindset? You ain't living your best life. You lying to people every day. You faking. You fugazi, man. You living off fake love every day. You faking the funk, man. Every person you meet, you got to lie about who you are. You ain't that person. They find out that you that person a little bit later. Be like, damn. Yeah, it's like Eddie Murphy said, man, all I got is some old stale crackers. They ain't got nothing. Ain't that person the same like everybody? Oh, you just like everybody else, dude. You could have told me that day one, let me make the decision. That ain't gonna happen. But listen, get what I'm saying. Get your mind right. Get your mind right, then change can evolve and take place for you. But it starts with your mind first. That's the science behind exercise. It starts with this. But like I say, I'll start judging people when I'm perfect too. But since I'm in no danger of ever becoming perfect, you never got to worry about this brother ever judging you. All right, man. I'll catch you guys on the flip, man. Stay up. Keep it positive, man. Listen, prayers of Texas. Love me some Texas. All the families, all the mothers, the brothers, the sisters, the aunts, and nephews. Everybody that's going through that lost them beautiful babies, man. Texas, I'm praying for you. Texas, I love you. You always going to hold a special place in your heart because you showed me nothing but love when I was there. And I love me some Houston, Texas. I love me Texas, period. Dallas, San Antonio, I love it all. Fort Worth, I love it all. Pray for people in Texas, man. There's some hurting people right now, man. There's some hurting people right now, man. Hold the people that you love close, man. Kiss on them babies, love on them babies, man. Our world is so crazy to our babies ain't even safe in freaking school, man. It's a crazy time. This is a crazy time. And again, like I talked about emotions, emotions will have you doing some off the wall things. When you get to there's people have lost their lives off of someone who was in an emotional state of mind. That's why emotional decisions are never good decisions. They never are, man. They never are. You have to make decisions based off of a place of clarity. And all them babies are gone because somebody was in their feelings. Y'all got to get out y'all feelings. Y'all got to get out your emotions, man, because y'all destroying stuff that don't even need to be destroyed. And it's sad. But I digress, man. Prayers up for Texas, man. All those babies that's lost, man. My heart goes out, man, because I think about my daughter, man. And I think about everybody who was running around on yesterday, man. I was, it just inside. I couldn't. I was speechless. I was speechless. So prayers up for Texas, man. Love you, Texas, man. Y'all stay easy, man. Y'all be up, man. Listen, I mean, be blessed out there, man. Be encouraging, man. Be positive, man. Stop wasting your time with all that toxic stuff in your head, man. Man, it ain't gonna be nothing. It ain't doing you no good, man. It's not doing you no good. Change your mind, changes your life. I'll catch you guys on the flip. Peace.